Fox News host Tucker Carlson does not believe President Joe Biden is going to take another crack at the White House, and he sees a new name on the horizon. He pointed to an interview the president had with Roker days ago where he said, "I plan on running now, but we're not prepared to announce it yet." He can barely speak the words. "We're not prepared to announce it yet," he says with his eyes closed. Well, why aren't they announcing it? Well, you know why. He's going to be 82 by the next inauguration. And no one really other than his wife thinks that's a good idea, because it's not, he said. So where does that leave Democrats? Well, if you were a rational person who took them at their word, you would assume the Democratic Party, would replace Joe Biden with someone who embodies their highest values. You imagine a trans black woman with a background in corporate HR, or a Latinx drag queen with purple hair and lots of face piercings. Or maybe even Kamala Harris, the host said. But, as he mentioned earlier in his monologue, the Democrats may talk against white men, but what they really care about is power. That would be principled, and therefore, they will never do it. Nominating someone you say you support? No. When Biden leaves, or more likely is shoved aside, they're going to nominate another straight white man who loves the big banks, someone even oilier and faker than Joe Biden. Why would they do that? Because it worked last time, the host said. And we're guessing if we had to bet tonight, it's going to be Gavin Newsom. We can't say that for certain, but we have noticed Gavin Newsom was at the White House not long ago. And Joe Biden wasn't just kind of measuring the curtains. And then over the weekend, we saw this. Gavin Newsom sitting down with the Democratic Party's former spokeswoman, now in residence at MSNBC, Jen Psaki. Psaki didn't conduct really an interview, she's not a journalist. She gave Newsom instead a chance to outline his platform for when he takes complete control. So don't dismiss him. You may be in the habit of dismissing Gavin Newsom. Pay close attention as he gives his pitch on MSNBC, he said before showing the Newsom video. You know, I just finished 18 events in 5 days in California. I've sacrificed my heart and soul for my state, and I take a backseat to no one on that. So I get it. But I also don't get what's going on in this country. I don't get why everybody's not doing what we're doing. All the progress of the last half-century has been rolled back in these states in real time in just the last few years. I don't think people fully understand the rights regression, individual liberties, on civil rights, on voting rights and the gerrymandering that's happening out here, the California governor said. Is your brain exploding? If you're a literal person, maybe so. This is the guy who forced every one of his 40 million residents in his state to get an experimental vaccine, whether they wanted to or not, lecturing you about individual rights and civil liberties. I don't get why everyone isn't doing what we're doing in California, he says. Maybe because it's not working? Because the people who live in your state, who can afford to leave, have. More people have left California this year than any state in the country. California, the largest net emigration in the United States, they actually ran out of U-Hauls. It was that bad, Carlson said. The host went on to list the many failures of Newsom before showing a recent political ad from the governor that Carlson believes is the first of the California governor's presidential campaign. We can't solve a problem without first identifying it. The problem in our country right now? Authoritarian leaders who are so hellbent on gaining power and keeping it by whatever means necessary that they're directly attacking our freedoms in state after state. That's why I'm launching the campaign for democracy. We're going on the road to take the fight to states where freedom is most under attack, where Republican leaders ban books, criminalize doctors, fire teachers, intimidate librarians, kidnap migrants, target trans kids, stoke racism, condone anti-Semitism, force the victims of rape and incest to carry their attacker's baby, or they ignore the will of the people and make it harder to vote and easier to buy assault weapons. We'll help lead the fight to make sure we elect leaders in 2024 who believe in democracy, the governor said in the ad.